for the next battle. Predictable!
Okay, I'm recording.
Un, deux, trois,
Three, two,
trois,
one.
deux, un.
E arson,
Clap.
E arson, clap. I think that was Chinese for 1, 2, 3. Don't quote me on that one. All
Like
right.
I said, I see this with when you introduce us.
I bet you fucking do, son. All right, let's do it. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Going Topless. It's been a while. I totally forgotten for a minute there that we had this podcast running. But anyways, are you guys ready for the next battle? Today, I have with me some of my friends and some of my the people that I do battle with. God, this is such a bad opening bit.
You
Fuck
should have
it.
went with mortal enemies.
Yeah, I should have went with mortal enemies, but fuck it. Today I have Lucky Chloe.
Battle. Shit, I think I was late.
I have Akuma,
Battle.
and it's me, your boy, the safest character in all the franchise. Law. Martial law.
Yes.
I'm gonna dragon flip you to death in the corner.
Just keep hitting buttons and from second one and you'll win. That's all
Dog,
you
I'm
gotta
gonna down 2 for you. Or no, I'm gonna just do 2 plus 4. I'm gonna junkyard you to death. And that's my only staple combo. Dragon, or what is it? It's junkyard to dragon tail. My only staple combo.
Well,
Works
now that
every
we've
time.
alienated all non-fighting game fans, we can continue.
Wa Lucky Chloe Deshta.
Well,
That's right,
if you haven't
that's what
guessed,
it says.
if you haven't guessed what the topic for today is, today's topic is Tekken, and more specifically, we're going to go over the Mishima storyline in all of the Tekken games. This is mainly the big overarching story in all of the Tekken games. It encompasses the 3 main characters of the Tekken series. It encompasses Jin, Heihachi, and Kazuya. But before all of that, before we get to them, we'll start with the beginning. And what is a Mishima? So,
What is Tekken?
or what is Tekken? We'll get there. We will get there in the
Okay.
lecture. It is a part of the
Mishimas
history.
come before that. Okay.
Yes, the Mishimas come before that. In the
Interesting.
lore, the Mishima family were originally a warrior clan that served the Japanese Empire during the time of the Oh, dude, I'm going to butcher these Japanese names, bro. I'm going to butcher the shit out of these names. I am so sorry. The Tara and the Mindamato clans. So
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
they've been around for a long time in lore universe. So, during World War II, they were able to capitalize on the outbreak of the war, and they were able to build a military-industrial complex within Japan.
The
basically-
Mishimas or the people that they were working with?
No, so the Mishimas were able to.
So they're like a Tokugawa clan where they like just came up and fucking started ruling everything, basically.
Basically, they
Gotcha.
are. This is the inception of the Mishima Zaibatsu, essentially. Which in Japanese, Zaibatsu essentially stands
It's the
for.
coolest word ever.
Yeah, it's the coolest word ever, but it essentially stands for giant business conglomerate, essentially, or
Basically,
giant company.
yeah.
And this is how they gain their wealth through all things, through how all big companies through how all big evil companies gain their wealth through capitalizing on war, essentially.
The military industrial complex.
Yep, this is how Kaiba Court did it, so why can't the Mishima Zaibatsu do it, right?
Honestly, it's pretty tried and true. And
Yeah, it's a surefire way of making money. It's crazy. So, after World War II, we meet canonically the first Mishima that we know of, like the first name Mishima, and his name is Jinpachi Mishima. And after World War II, he started to focus away from the military-industrial complex and focus more on martial arts.
What a pussy.
I mean, this is the general inception of the Mishima karate.
Gotcha.
He would go on to develop their signature fighting style. Notable moves of this style would be the electric wind god fist, the flash punch combo, and the left splits kick. So, for someone who's kind of lost with this, with all of these fancy words, the electric wind god fist is essentially an uppercut, but like if you get hit by it, you also just like there's just electricity, so
Die.
you get tased. Yeah, you just die.
And
Like,
then they
honestly.
do it 5 times in a row, and you feel real fucking bad about yourself.
You could do it, yeah. Like, if someone hits an electric wind god fist on you in Tekken, and they hit it multiple times, it's like, you're bad, dog. I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Damn, bro.
Flash punch, the flash punch combo is your... I don't want to say bread and butter, because I don't really play Mishimas all that much, but the flash punch combo, you generally see it a lot. It's just a really good, like, all-around tool.
We should have gotten Denny as correspondent.
We should have gotten Denny as correspondent, but he's not here now. He'll probably be listening to this. Hey, Denny, what's up, man?
There's your call out, bro.
There's your call out, bro. And left splits kick is essentially, I believe the left splits kick is just the one where Heihachi just like jumps up in the air and just does like a tornado kick essentially, but it's not really a tornado kick.
It's kind of like that. Doesn't like Kazuya also have like a rolling kick?
That's different though. That's
Okay.
not a left splits kick. That's just his rolling kick.
Regardless. So Jinpachi's like, yo, I'm gonna take over the world with martial arts. Or is that his plan?
No, his plan, he actually moves away. Jinpachi, like, as we see throughout the series, he is notably, like, he is noted as being the more, like, peaceful Mishima.
Gotcha.
Like,
he's the Goon.
He just wanted to focus on kicking ass. And, like,
That's
Jinpachi's like 8 feet tall. He's like 8 feet tall, muscular as shit, and he doesn't wear a shirt.
So he really is Baki's grandpa.
He is. He is. He's Baki's grandpa.
Like
He's
100%.
insane. He's
Okay.
insane. He, like, towers over most of the Mishimas in the series. And he's huge. And he's got the general Mishima hairline where it's just V and just anime as hell. It's insanity. But he's cool.
So
He's
he
cool.
disappears, or
No.
is like...
He
Oh,
doesn't
no.
disappear.
Okay.
He doesn't disappear. He just,
Gotcha.
he moves the company away from the military-industrial complex. He was like,
okay.
I made all of this money, but I also don't want to make money anymore in like, you know, selling weapons and stuff. So he's like, I'm just going to take all my wealth, and then I'm just going to move it all over to karate. Mind you, he disregards the fact that he already killed a bunch of people. He doesn't, like, his weapons already killed a bunch of people.
I mean, that's kind of like a samurai thing. It's just every person that you've ever killed, you either forget about or, like, you burden them with your shoulders and then you just keep going or whatever.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't care. Jinpachi,
I'm sure they were very honorable murders that he
basically.
enacted.
I mean, this is Japan, so they were a warrior clan, essentially. In lore, they were a warrior clan, so yeah, man.
What era of Japan, by the way? So this is like pre-World War I, I'm assuming.
All of them. I will. I am butchering these clan names. But it's of the time of the Tara and the Minamoto clans. I'm butchering those so hard, so I don't know how long ago that was, but this is pre-World War I.
Okay. So all right.
They've been around, from what I've gathered, for a long time.
About 100 years at least.
Probably.
Okay. So
but,
they start their sick ass karate conglomerate.
Right. They start their sick ass martial arts, and he would go on to have a son named Heihachi. So he would also teach Heihachi. And then
who's Heihachi's mom?
never has been told. I don't know who Heihachi's mom. Maybe we'll get her in Tekken 8.
Lucky Chloe.
Lucky Chloe. Lucky Chloe was
There it
Heihachi's
is.
mom.
Damn, dude. Fuck.
But
airtight.
so Heihachi would be taught the karate, the traditional Mishima karate, and a young Kazumi would also be taught the traditional Mishima martial arts. She just would randomly show up at the dojo. She is part of the Hachijo
She's hot
clan.
childhood friend, right?
Yeah, she's Heihachi's childhood friend. I mean, well, whatever. I'll get into that here in a second, because that's literally the next bullet point.
Perfect.
So, later on, this would be years later, Heihachi would go on to perfect the Mishima style of karate from Jinpachi. So, all of, the electric wind god fist stuff, and all of the twin pistons, or maybe not twin pistons, but flash combo and left split kicks and stuff like that you see would later go on to be perfected by Heihachi. And I think that really shows in his actual fighting style. If you play Heihachi, a lot of his stuff it's very rugged, honestly. In comparison to someone who was taught these moves later on, say a Jin or a Kazuya, their movements are a little more flowy and stuff like that. But Heihachi's, it's kind of indicative of him being the first person to know about it and perfect it at the same time. They're a little more rugged, and it's a little more damaging with him, because I believe Heihachi is known as more of the attack orientated Mishima anyways. He's more of the aggressive style. He's very unsafe on on hit or on block and stuff like that, so he gets blown up super easily, but he is the more aggressive Mishima.
Yeah. Okay,
so after this, we would see a betrayal in the family. So this would happen while Heihachi and Kazumi would be they would eventually fall in love training together, as you do. I mean, I guess learning martial arts throughout your whole entire life with someone, who would have thought that your childhood friend, you would fall in love. So they end up yeah.
I mean, that's the dream, right?
What is this, a fucking Disney movie? I was expecting dude, if he didn't fall in love with a volcano, I'm already disappointed.
Oh, bro, there are a lot of volcanoes in this story. We're not even.
It's definitely the honeymoon spot. For sure.
There are a lot of volcanoes in this story. So they would form a relationship together. And they would eventually conceive a son named Kazuya Mishima. So here's Kazuya, young Kazuya, coming into the world, and he would later go on to train in the Mishima style karate with Jinpachi. And because of this sort of style, or because of his sort of training with his grandfather, they would actually have a very, very close relationship together. So close that it would very much affect him, later on in the series. really hard. However, one day, while Kazumi was training, she would fall ill, and during this time, Heihachi would take care of her day in and day out for multiple days. But strangely enough, one day her fever would just break, and she would act like nothing happened at all. Yeah, it's really odd. She would just get up and just walk on by.
Sounds sus, bro.
That sounds sus. At what point around this does Akuma become indebted to her?
Okay, so I didn't write that down, but I did research that. She, during her training at the Mishima dojo, she would go on walks and stuff, and she would find a battered and bruised Akuma, and she would eventually nurse him back to health.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
That.
So Akuma's like,
beat up
thank
Akuma?
You. I don't know who beat up Akuma in the Tekken world.
They it's actually like a fire station. Akuma was just in a basket with a blanket over him. And she's like, what the fuck? And he's like,
I have to take him home now.
He's like, I like tigers. And she's like, he's the one. That's the one.
He's like, I like my supers to just do like 80% damage, and the only way you can get out of them is by jumping. But you wouldn't know that.
It's skill, bro. Skill.
I like being the only 2D character that can FADC in a 3D fighting game.
Or sidestepping, by the way.
Yeah. I like to be the only character that can throw fireballs in a 3D fighting game.
That isn't true. There's geese. And
no, when the game first came out?
Bitch. There's a vampire chick.
When the game first came out?
Vampire chick was pre-ordered.
Was she? Okay, whatever. Eliza, I don't know if Eliza was pre-order or not, but yeah, probably. Anyways, so they would be training. Heihachi would be training in their dojo.
And so wait, Heihachi wasn't ever aware that Akuma was just like hanging out in his fucking own house?
No, not at all.
Putting on his own boxers and like fucking walking around in his shoes.
Not at all.
Damn,
not at
bro.
All.
Damn, bro. Disrespect.
And she's like, yo, how the fuck is half this milk drank, and why are there lip marks on it? And she's like, I don't know, man. It must be a ghost.
I mean, probably. That's probably what happened.
Oh, Akuma would definitely leave fat lip marks.
Why is there semen coming out of you right now? And she's like, it's a ghost. We get into the fact that Heihachi is actually just a cuckold.
I mean,
Heihachi's in the Superman costume in the closet.
I mean, maybe. So this is we're kind of at the part before, like, all right, okay, fuck it. So Heihachi would be training in the dojo one day, and Kazumi would confront him and attack him. And during this process, we see that Kazumi also has what would be, I guess, a staple in the series, the devil gene. She would turn into a devil and try and kill Heihachi. And I actually like her devil form a lot. Like, we see like 2 or 3 devil forms throughout the series. We also see like demons and stuff, but her devil form is kind of nice. She gets like gray skin, but she also gets these giant butterfly wings.
She looks like what's her face from the end of Naruto.
Choji?
Choji, that's it. No, the main villain chick.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Tony, throw up Editor Tony, just throw an image of Kazuya or Kazumi's devil form, but then, like, you know, cut the face of the lady from Naruto and just paste it on her. Just do that.
And then make her do the blood sign.
And then make her pregnant. And then and then make her have a happy life. There you go. Do this whole entire bit, please. So eventually, during their battle, Heihachi would get the upper hand and just... Okay, so I believe in this scene, I can't remember, but I think I remember... I can't remember fully, but if I remember just enough, he's holding her by one arm. He's holding her neck by one arm. And then, like, she's like, please don't do this, I'm your loving wife. And then he looks at her in the eyes, and then a tear rolls down his eyes as he snaps her neck.
As you do, as a cold ass honky that Heihachi is.
Yeah, you just snap her neck. However, through this battle, we would see that Heihachi would become paranoid for the rest of his life.
So this is why he's so scared of the devil gene.
Yes, this is the instance like that we see in the series why he's so scared of the devil gene. Because he had to kill his wife over this.
So I know this like whole story appeared in Tekken 7. So is this a retcon in any way of why Heihachi hates the devil gene so much? Or is this an actual like real explanation?
From what I've gathered, no. It has never been explained why. he hates, or why he, besides the fact that his son Kazuya has the devil gene, my bad, it's never explained further out from
so it isn't necessarily that this whole story recontextualizes the entire past or anything. It just actually adds more context, if anything.
Yeah.
So Devil John over here.
Yeah. So the goddamn Devil John. So after this, Heihachi would then go on to stage a coup d'etat and steal the Mishima Zaibatsu from Jinpachi. And doing so, he would lock Jinpachi underneath the Mishima dojo.
You
just lock him up.
He's fucking Atlas. He's holding the building up the whole time.
I mean, basically. And I believe he dies under there. He dies underneath the building. And through this, Heihachi would then go on to take back the Mishimas, or take the Mishima Zaibatsu and bring them back into the military-industrial complex and become obsessed with power and domination.
Okay.
So,
as you do.
I guess for a bit of explanation for Kazumi, she actually comes. So the clan that she comes from, which is the Hajijo clan, god damn it, I am butchering that again, is actually a long line clan of assassins.
Of course.
And they all have the devil gene in them. And so she was sent by their clan to
seduce Heihachi.
Not to seduce, but just to murder him. Because they foresaw that he would become, stricken with power and domination. But by doing so, he would then go paranoid and then be pushed to that sort of extreme.
Yeah, so it's a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing.
Yeah, man, they really got them good with that one, huh?
Hey, man, that's the beauty of a Greek tragedy.
But let's not let this disguise the fact that Heihachi canonically beats women.
I mean,
Heihachi, literal MGTOW warrior.
Canonically, a lot of people fight a lot of people in this story, and that includes women, and
to the point where I think half the cast is women, right?
A good majority of them are gay people too. As Denny said, one time when we were playing Tekken, equal rights is equal fights, and everyone can catch these hands. And I was like, yeah, I guess everyone can. Everyone can catch these hands.
Down to two different bears.
Two different bears, a robot made out of magical wood,
a kangaroo with boxing gloves.
A velociraptor, a smaller velociraptor,
a scientist who can barely stand,
a scientist who farts as a special ability,
of course,
a beetle samurai robot, a sex robot doll, essentially.
Yeah.
Two different versions of Wesley Snipes.
Okay, when you say Wesley Snipes, do you mean actual Wesley Snipes, or...
Bro, I will send you a picture of... So, you never, in Tekken 7 is the first Tekken game you've truly played, we got Master Raven. What you don't know is that Master Raven actually is is the replacement for original Raven, and Raven looks like Wesley Snipes. He looks like Wesley Snipes in Blade. Give me a second. Let me pull up a picture really quickly. Pull this picture up really quickly. Tony, you just
this is great.
Just put this picture up. Just put this picture up on the screen, and then just Photoshop. Or
holy fuck! Why is Wesley Snipes in the game? What the fuck is this?
This is
this is more what is it? Demolition Man, Wesley Snipes.
Honestly,
his rage art is he just teaches you how to evade your taxes,
but then fails, and you guys both get arrested.
He brings the wrath of the IRS upon you.
Yeah, he just moves all of his IRS debt to you. There you go.
So, fun fact, guys. We just now made it to the first King of the Iron Fist tournament.
So did we not skip at least one volcano throwing?
No, this. Oh yeah, we did skip one volcano throwing. My bad. Okay, right. That's right. So because Heihachi is like scared of the devil gene, right? He is constantly paranoid of the devil gene. He believes that his son might have the devil gene.
Which that is a fair assessment in the long run.
So he believes that. So he takes him up to a volcano, and he looks his son dead in the eye.
This
and
is some Abraham shit.
He looks his, I believe, 13-year-old son dead in the eye, and he's like, "Hey, I locked up your grandpa underneath the Mishima dojo. I know how much you loved him. I know how he trained you from a young age, and I know you have like a really good bond with him. But I locked him up because I wanted all the power." He tells him that, and then he tells him straight up in his, like, looking at him dead in the eyes, he's like, "I also killed your mother."
Damn.
I also killed your mother. But I'm not going to tell you the reason why I killed your mother. I'm only going to tell you I killed your mother.
I'm not going to make this redeemable in any way. I'm just going to tell you, yo, what up? Your mom's dead. I did it.
And so...
How goes it?
Kazuya, being the 13-year-old he is, he's like, "I'm gonna defeat you, old man, with my rage." And so he starts fighting him.
And you do get to fight as 13-year-old.
You do, and it's a really cool model, honestly.
I do.
It's really interesting. But then, Heihachi's like, "LOL, nope," and just like full frontal, like heel to chest, kicks Kazuya into the dirt. And he's like, "Okay, listen, son. If you have the devil gene, you will survive this fall. And then I will have to kill you if you can survive this fall. If you don't survive this fall and you die, then you don't have the devil gene. It's all good. Just die." And so,
I mean, I guess
picks up.
So at this point, does Heihachi aware that he has an illegitimate son?
I don't actually know. Maybe.
Interesting.
Like,
so like, think about.
So he tosses him off a cliff.
As you do.
Tosses him off a cliff.
Very Baki again. Very Baki.
Right. Just tosses him off a cliff. Okay, so at some point he also adopts Lee, which is another quote unquote Mishima, and he also has an illegitimate son in Lars. But I didn't
Lars
really research
his illegitimate son.
What's up?
So Lars is his illegitimate son.
Yes, Lars is his illegitimate son.
Okay.
But I didn't really look into that story.
Yeah, fuck Lars.
Because Lars is a weeaboo, and he likes essentially what is a sex toy. Just throw up an image of Anna. I like her as a character, but God, Lars is a weeb. Lars is a super weeb. So now after all of this, we are now finally at the first King of the Iron Fist tournament, guys. Congratulations. We made it to the first King of the Iron Fist tournament.
Get ready for the next battle.
Guess what? Your character's not there yet. Sorry, guys. Akuma, not there yet. Lucky Chloe,
Akuma's
not there yet.
I play Paul.
Okay, so yeah. You're there, death fisting your way to victory. So we pick up at the first Tekken tournament, right? But we pick up towards the end of the first Tekken tournament. So it's coming to a finale. There is a large sum of money for the person who defeats Heihachi Mishima. It is being sponsored by the Mishima Zaibatsu. And in this game, there are 8 characters in this game with a couple of unlockables, but these are like the main 8 characters essentially. Yeah. So we got Jack, we got Kazuya, and give me a second, someone is calling me. I will be right back. Everyone stop the recording for a second.
Okay. Pause.
Unpause.
3, 2, 1.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Fuck, it's in the middle of my recording.
Yeah, mine's in the middle of my recording too.
Okay, well, we'll just...
I mean, yeah, fuck it. Sorry about that, everyone. I had to go do something. I was talking about the characters, right, that were in this game.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yes. you did Kazuya and Jack and Paul. I think is who you said in the game.
Yeah. So we have also King. We have martial law. We have the Native American character Michelle Chang. We have Nina Williams.
I'm sorry. Wait. Did you just say the Native American character Michelle Chang?
Yes. Might be a tad controversial, but Michelle Chang is from what I understand, her daughter is in Tekken 7 and she's an environmentalist, but I believe Michelle Chang is also like an environmentalist, but she wears like a Native American like headband, and she like wears like I believe she's Native American. I could be so thoroughly wrong. Tony, if I'm wrong, just like edit my face, but it's a clown face. It's like Hong Kong.
Bro, who would have thought, you know? You think of Michelle Chang, you think, you know what? Sounds like Navajo to me.
I think she might be like half Chinese.
Or Navajo. Fuck.
I think she might be like half Chinese, half Native American. I think is her deal.
Did you fuck that up on purpose?
No.
No, James.
I like. Oh.
Navajo.
James. Navajo.
Navajo.
Bro, shut the fuck up, alright? You just told me Michelle Chang was Native American.
I didn't say
Mind is
that.
blown.
So, surprise, surprise, Kazuya Mishima is actually the main character of this game.
Wow.
And he would go on
He's the Reed.
he would go on to confront his father in the finals in a very bloody one-on-one conflict that would end in him defeating his father, and in twisted sort of events on a play in the in the opposite direction. Whatever, fuck it. You can find this clip on YouTube, but it's got like really upbeat, happy music, and Kazuya would go and take his father's body, unconscious body, and go to the same cliff that his father threw him off as a young lad.
Yes.
And he would throw him. He would throw him over the cliff, and then the camera would zoom in on his face, and he would look at the camera, and he would just smile.
And give a fat thumbs up, I believe.
The fattest thumbs up ever. It's a really good ending. It's
pretty sweet.
It's amazing. It's so cathartic, honestly. It's kind of sick.
And so what's Akuma doing this whole time?
Akuma's just probably in Street Fighter at this point. What? He's like in Turbo 2, busting people's kneecaps.
So is that the idea, is the Street Fighter world and the Tekken world are the same? Have we just finally crossed that barrier?
I mean, with like Tekken Cross Street Fighter, I mean, yeah. At this point, like,
I guess that's
so.
fair.
Like in Japan, like the Mishima Zaibatsu is just doing whatever they want, while like Ryu.
That's why Ryu never hangs out in Japan, and he's just wandering around. He's like, oh, I don't want to fight the fucking Mishimas all goddamn day.
I don't want to fight these guys that when they throw uppercuts, they tase me essentially. I don't want to do this shit.
You say that, but his best friend shoots out fireballs when he does his uppercuts.
Yeah, that's fair too. What's worse, getting burnt by an uppercut or getting electrified by an uppercut?
I mean, I guess the 5 electric uppercuts in a row kind of really seals the deal.
James, your thoughts? What's worse?
Can you believe that the Sure You Can is named after the playable character Ken?
Shut up.
That's a lie.
It's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good lie. Alright. So, we are now in Tekken 2. So Tekken 2 takes place 2 years after the first Tekken tournament.
So wait, why did Heihachi even start the tournament in the first place? Was it just to show how big his nuts were, or?
Yeah, so he started the Tekken tournament because he was 1, bored, and 2, wanted to assert his dominance as a martial artist.
So yes, he wanted to flex his nuts.
Yeah, he wanted to flex real hard.
I'm built different, and I'm gonna show you all.
I'm built different. I'm built to be thrown off cliffs, apparently.
I mean, you gotta be whenever you're in this family. So wait, is he then a liar then? Because he survived and he doesn't have the devil gene.
He's just built differently, bro. Like, you will see that, like, Heihachi Mishima is just, like, literally built differently.
I guess, yeah, we'll get to it. Continue. We'll get to it.
So, yeah. We're in Tekken 2 now. So, Tekken 2 is pretty rad. This is 2 years after the first Tekken tournament. And so, with the death of Heihachi Mishima, Kazuya, quote-unquote death of Heihachi Mishima, Kazuya would go on to lead the Mishima Zaibatsu to even greater heights.
To do even more war crimes. They could have even thought of before.
More war crimes, you say? More war crimes, you say? So at this time, he would go on to seize all of Hokkaido for the purpose of building an independent nation.
Wait a second, what?
Yes.
Maybe that is why he
First of all, I would just like to say... First of all, I'd just like to say that nobody said war crimes, and Tekken was like, I think I know what the fuck you want. And then they were like, war crimes! So, second off, what the fuck?
So he'd go on to seize all of Hokkaido, right?
As you do.
Which is
that's quite a bit of a portion of
relatively speaking, a pretty big province in Japan. Relatively speaking,
it's a lot of a lot of forest, a lot of like farmland, from what I've come to understand.
I mean, yeah. So he seizes all of Hokkaido, and he's like, I want to build an independent nation, and this is where he establishes.
He's big boss.
He is big boss. This is Mother Base. So this is where he establishes the Tekken Force.
Okay, so this is his... Oh my god, he is Big Boss! Fuck!
Dude, can you believe that Tekken is actually the fighting story, like the alternate universe
of Metal Gear?
Of Metal Gear?
Well, we gotta wait until we get a Solidus and a couple of other guys, but we'll get there, I'm sure.
So, like father, like son. He was feeling a little bored.
So at this point, he's aware that he has the devil gene. Yes or no?
We will get into that. We will get into that here in a bit.
Gotcha.
So like father, like son, he got bored. He also wanted to prove his dominance.
He also wanted to flex his nuts.
Yes. So he announces the King of the Iron Fist Tournament 2. And so in this game, we would get characters such as Jack 2, Jun Kazama. I know it's a little confusing. We have Jin, Jun, Kazumi, Kazuya.
Oh yeah, that's a little bit.
It's a little much, but we'll get through it, guys. We also have the best cop ever, Lei Wulong. We have Alex.
Bro.
I have no idea who that character is. I don't know why I put it there. We have Angel, who is, for a little background, Angel is technically a Mishima, but she's only a Mishima in, like, Tag 2, so she's not really canonical.
What does that mean?
Like, she can throw uppercuts, like Electric Wind God Fist, and do all the Mishima stuff.
So, is that really all that it takes to become a Mishima, is that you have an uppercut that you can uppercut?
Well, you also have, like, the wave pressure, too, is what makes you, like, a truly, like, a Mishima. Like, that's the reason why Bob is considered, like, a Mishima, because he has the wave pressure.
Gotcha.
And, like, you can cancel the wave dash into a, like, something, like terrible. Like, something monstrous.
Gotcha.
Like, if...
You also have all of your other favorite Mishimas. Jakuya. Kazuyu... Jakizumi.
Dude, you have
every other mishmash of the name.
You have Bakudu-san in this, which is the progenitor to Horang. Bakudu-san is actually Horang's teacher, karate teacher, taekwondo
when's
teacher.
The game where we get your main's like shitty son?
That's coming up. That'll be coming up. We also have Bruce Ivern, the original Thai master. Before Josie Rizal, Bruce Ivern is a fan favorite. We also have Roger in this game too. So sometime during the tournament, we get a story beat in the middle of Tekken 3. Jun Kazama and Kazuya Mishima will get it on. Yeah, I'm just gonna let that marinate. So, a little story for Jun Kazama. Jun Kazama is actually Chun-Li. She is an international police officer, I believe. But I believe not an international police officer, but she's like she's like an official,
like Interpol.
She's kind of like Interpol, but for like environmentalist stuff. Like, she's really in tune with nature, so she protects nature.
So is that like 2 environmentalist characters in Tekken? Right.
Yeah, but Jun's actually, like, better. Jun's actually better, in my opinion.
Okay.
So Jun would get pregnant during this time. Jun would actually be sent on a mission to, like, arrest Kazuya, but end up being seduced by him.
As you do.
As you do with the Mishimas.
They're just too hot.
Yeah, they're just too hot that they end up, like, seducing their would-be, like, assassins, right?
And apparently in Japan, the most, like, desirable man is a literal fence post.
Fuck yeah.
So, in the end, Jun would get pregnant, but in the end, Heihachi would be confronting his son. And so in Tekken 2, Heihachi, plot twist, is actually the main character. So it would be...
the back to rise, back to roll.
Right, it would be mirroring, like, it would be the opposite versions of Tekken 1, right?
Interesting. I do like that. I like that.
Yeah, it was a mind-blowing thing, right? It was crazy. So Heihachi would go on to defeat Kazuya and in a bloody duel once again. And after he would knock out Kazuya, he would fly his unconscious body in a helicopter, and in a sort of way to end all of this, he would dump his body in a live volcano. In the scene plays out with Heihachi on the side of a helicopter on the ladder, and the helicopter would be floating over the volcano. And so he drops his body in there, and then they fly off, and it closes up on his face, and he smiles, and I believe in the background, the volcano explodes. The volcano would erupt.
Fuck yeah. Fuck it.
So he's totally dead,
Totally
right?
dead.
Like, totally
He's super
dead.
dead. Until Tekken 3.
Well, so before we get to Tekken 3, we cannot skip the greatest Tekken ending of all time, which is King running up to the orphanage and then looking into the window to see the FMV of live-action children dancing around.
So, fun fact, King is a Mexican, like, professional wrestler.
That lives in Japan.
Luchador.
He is a luchador. So someone explain to me why all of the children are Japanese. When his church is in Mexico.
He's literally Tiger Mask. He's literally Tiger Mask.
James, riddle me this. Why are there Japanese?
Dude, if Michelle Chang can be Native American, bro, anything can happen.
There you go.
Dude, every country is actually just filled with Japanese people.
Is it a mask,
can you believe
or
it?
does he have an actual tiger head grafted onto him? I mean,
he never talks. Like, canonically, he never talks.
I mean, that's. I wouldn't want Tiger or King to fucking talk ever. Honestly, I don't want to know what his voice would be.
The only semblance of his face that we've ever gotten is that in Tekken 4, I believe he had a mullet.
Oh no!
That's the closest thing we'll ever see to seeing anything of his head.
So at what point does the first king die?
He dies sometime, I believe, in Tekken 4.
Okay, alright.
Because
so we'll work up
the king
that.
that we are currently following is the second king. But that's a story for a different day, because we're not on the king storyline. We are on the Mishima bloodline, the Blood Feud storyline. So we're in Tekken 3, and guess what? Tekken 3 opens up 16 years after the events of the second king of the Iron Fist tournament.
Okay.
So it's been 16 years, and So we open up with Jun Kazama, who's been living a very quiet life with her son, Jin Kazama. And Yakushuniya. God, I'm butchering that still again. And during this time, Heihachi Mishima has fully established the Tekken Force, which is his military force.
Yeah.
Which is a military organization that is dedicated to protecting the will of the Mishima Zaibatsu.
So he came in and was like, "This is some pretty cool shit Kazuya did. I'm gonna keep this going up."
What's crazy is like they both love the ideas that like the father and or the son are implementing, but they're like, I'm just gonna take it and just gonna go full force with it. He's like, fuck you.
I guess father likes son in that. Truly.
Yeah. So he uses this force to commit basically war crimes into making the world peaceful.
Tekken knows what the fuck you like. As long as it's war crimes.
Yes.
Well, he's an interesting play of war crimes into peace. That's an interesting cancel. I haven't seen that one yet.
Is that special cancelable?
Yeah, no. He does the war crime and then does a Korean backdash cancel into peace.
He does Korean backdash into peace. That's insane.
No,
that's actually his true. Oh no, go ahead.
This is the newest tech, truly, that's coming out of Korea.
Yeah. So he's in Mexico, right?
God damn it.
Oh yeah, this is Tekken 3.
His true war crime was turning everybody in every country into a Japanese person. Ethiopia, Japanese. Oh my God. Brazil, Japanese. Greenland, Japanese.
It's the ultimate tale of imperialism. That's what Harada was always wanting to tell.
So he's in Mexico. He's doing an excavation trip in Mexico. Right? He's excavating, I think in Mayan ruins and stuff like that.
As you do when you have all unlimited power.
And then he would accidentally unleash a fighting god.
I imagine, like, Heihachi in the, like, explorer uniform.
So, he's not an explorer uniform. I think throughout all of Tekken 3, he's not wearing a shirt, but he's wearing the bottom half of what essentially is just a gi, and that's it. Even when he's excavating.
Well, the man doesn't want to get heat stroke.
So he would unleash Ogre, a fighting god.
Fuck yeah.
And so this event would re-spark Heihachi's long dominant want for world domination. Because the war crimes weren't enough.
Well, how is doing war crimes into peace not already world domination at that point?
Because he wants more.
Okay. Gotcha.
This is what Kazumi wanted to prevent, but started.
But was actually
this is all her fault. This is all her fault. So, Ogre would then fly across the world.
He's a fucking gun devil.
Well, actually, before this, Heihachi wants to capture Ogre for world domination because he's a fighting god, right? So during this, Ogre would go on to travel around the world and kill martial artists, just murder them.
So he's Piccolo.
Yeah, just go on to murder them.
Gotcha.
I mean, he's green, so
I mean,
Ogre is literally like a 9 foot, like not even 9 feet, probably like 10 feet, muscular Aztec warrior man.
Sounds like King Piccolo to me.
Yeah. And so he would set his eyes on Jin's mother, and Jun would go on to sense Ogre coming for her, and through this she would tell a 15-year-old Jin to seek out, or a 14-year-old Jin, my bad, to seek out his grandfather if anything bad happens to her, not knowing that Heihachi is a fucking bitch. A couple of days after Jin's birthday, Ogre would attack and knock Jin out. Yeah. Once awoken, Jin would awake, and his house would be burned down, and he would think he would believe that his mother would be dead, but in all actuality, his mom would just disappear.
Well, yeah, that's a fighting game character, bro. You can't kill that. You can't kill them.
And we would never see his mom ever again.
Hint,
Tekken 3 would be the last time we'd see Jun Kazama for probably like in person, like canonically in person.
Interesting.
And
so 2 questions. Mm-hmm. So then Eddie Gordo, I'm assuming, just shows up and then Capoeira beats up fucking Ogre. Is that his storyline? Like he's just like...
I don't actually know what Eddie Gordo's, but he did show up in this game. He would be one of the new characters that would show up in this game.
So yeah, he's just like, hey, what's up, guys? Who's this?
Hey, what's up, guys? Check out my bullshit. Check out my dance moves. Like, what is this mix-up, bro?
And then
what is this low-high mix-up?
And then my second...
And that day, John Ding would be born. On the same day, Eddie Gordo would be born.
Beautiful.
And John Ding would eventually become the strongest Korean player of all time, like physically.
And then my second question is, this really like makes like Akuma look like a bitch. I feel like.
I mean, I don't know what he's up to nowadays. It's Tekken 3, bro.
Exactly, but it makes him seem like he's just hiding out from Ogre than actually going out and fighting the strongest people.
He's beating up Vega right now.
Vega's a bitch in comparison to Ogre, who's a Mayan god locked away.
He's beating up Seth.
Years.
He's trying to entice Ryu to the Dark Hado. He's like, "Come over here, Ryu. Come over here. Bro. I'll suck your spoopy dick, Mulder, to get you over here. Come here, Ryu. Ooh, I'm gonna suck that spoopy dick."
Alright, so Tekken 3, Ogre burns down Jin's house.
So Jin would go on to go find Heihachi and train with him in the Mishima-style karate.
Gotcha.
So Tekken 3, I believe Tekken 3 is one of the only, I think it is the only game in the franchise that you actually see Jin use, like purely use the Mishima style.
Yeah, because he gets the move change in Tekken 4 that everybody hated, and now people love.
Yeah. We'll get into that here. There's a lore reason for that.
Gotcha.
So 4 years later, after training in the Mishima martial arts, on his 19th birthday, Heihachi would announce the 3rd King of the Iron Fist tournament. For my 19th birthday, I got a martial arts tournament. And in this game, we would be introduced.
Why does your grandpa let you have 2 tournaments on your birthday?
In this game, we would be introduced to characters such as Eddie Gordo, the infamous Forest Law, Horang, Jin Kazama. Actually, fun fact, this would be his first game debut.
Yeah.
Lin Xiaoyu, fan favorite Brian Fury with his taunt jet upper. We would get introduced to Gunjack. We would get introduced to Julia Chang, the daughter of what's her face, the Native American girl in the first one.
Okay.
We would also get introduced to Mokujin.
So is she Native American or is she Asian?
She is white. We'll just say that.
Damn.
We'll just say that.
Damn, bro.
We'll say that.
She's got that 1/16th Cherokee, baby.
Baby!
I go
James, you there?
Casino with that.
Are you dead?
James.
No, I'm here. I have to mute my microphone because my dogs keep moving.
Okay.
I don't want to get picked up by my microphone.
Okay.
There.
So Jin would go on to beat everyone's ass and eventually come face with Ogre and defeating him. After this defeat, though, the Tekken forces would gun him down like a dog, and personally being headshotted by Heihachi.
And then they would throw Ogre in a volcano.
Hey, I fucking wish. But this is the game when Jin would be revived by the devil gene within him.
Okay.
And then he would quickly take out the Tekken forces, including Heihachi, he wouldn't kill Heihachi, but he would later go on to sprout black wings and fly off into the night.
And he became, and from that moment forth, he became the edgiest character that ever fucking lived.
He became the edgiest character ever. He would eventually get studded Crocs. It's insanity. It's insanity.
So Kazuya does not show up during Tekken 3.
No, because he's technically dead.
Gotcha.
Kazuya's technically dead, so they just replaced him with Jin.
I wonder how that felt as just like a fan of Tekken at the time, where like your favorite character or main from Tekken 2 is completely dead and having to be replaced with like a different character entirely.
I can't believe we got this pussy boy. I don't even like... I can't believe we got... Honestly, being a Tekken player is just... It's probably like, I can't even believe we got Jin. But, you know, you got Brian Fury, the actual cheapest character of all time. You get Lin Xiaoyu. You got Horang.
I mean, the other cheapest character of all time. We're just talking, like, online.
Nah, I would say Eddie Gordo. Because you get Eddie Gordo in this game, too. That's the day that John Ding was born. Eddie Gordo, John Ding, the same person. So we are on to Tekken 4. This is when shit kind of gets even more real. Like, this is when it starts to elevate. Just like, we're there. We are here. Heihachi is still trying to figure out how to capture True Ogre's god power, even though Jin just beat the shit out of him and he exploded essentially. But
didn't he just become like a bigger guy?
Yeah. He basically did. He became a blob monster with a snake hand and a dragon tail, like a tail that has a dragon face.
I can only imagine the shitty moveset he has.
He's cheap. He's really cheap. You think like Brian Fury's cheap? True Ogre is incredibly cheap. He has a very, very fast grab that is I believe is untechable, like legitimately.
So, when is the first Tekken Tag game? So
the first Tekken Tag game, I believe, takes place in between Tekken 2 and Tekken 3. So you get Tekken Tag 1.
Okay, and that is that just for funsies? We had a tournament and everybody, and none of the things are canonical.
Yeah, that is uncanonical
Gotcha.
Stuff. I don't really know the lore of Tekken Tag, so I couldn't even tell you.
Gotcha.
It's there. Tekken Tag's pretty cool. But Tekken Tag 2 is when shit gets real broken real quick.
Gotcha.
It's incredible. Tekken Tag 2 is incredible.
So what is...
Yo, Ogre has like fucking 4 moves that just go across the stage.
Oh yeah, you look it up? Yeah.
Dude, that shit is garbage.
Here's the bit. Here's the bit for the editing, Tony. Just put all of the characters we main and all of our faces, just like copy pasted on all of our characters. But since Lauren isn't here, get True Ogre and then just paste Lauren's face on True Ogre as like she's eating us, essentially. That's the bit. There it is.
Damn, bro, you're really putting editor Tony to work on this one.
Dude, I'll see you at the next tournament, which will be probably for you.
Get ready for the next battle.
Get ready for the next battle, editor Tony. Good luck. Anyways, so Tekken 4 happens. Heihachi is still trying to find out how to capture True Ogre's god powers, right? And how do you think he decides to go about this?
I can only assume in the most ballsy
and if you
way.
If you guess gene...
4 crimes in a volcano.
If you guess gene splicing, you would be correct.
Oh, that's
so
right.
he tries to do it through gene splicing, right?
He becomes younger at one point, correct?
So, that's Tekken Tag 2.
Oh, my bad.
Tekken Tag 2, he becomes a younger version of himself. So through this research, he stumbles along to G Corporation, or G Corp, which is, it is a cutting-edge biotech firm. And through this research, he finds out that they have the charred remains of his son, Kazuya Mishima.
As you do.
So through this knowledge, he conducts a raid on the G Corporation. and they're like blasting through like everything. If you look at the cutscene, they're just like gunning down employees, they're blowing shit up, they're destroying computers, they're hacking software.
Game that has like Heihachi and Kazuyu fighting like 47 jacked 5s or 4s, right?
No, that is the next Tekken game.
Oh, my bad.
That is Tekken 5.
Gotcha.
And this is Tekken 4. You're good. So they're blasting through, right? They're blasting through, they're fucking everything up, they're killing all of like the people and stuff, and then all of a suddenly, his Tekken forces just get blown out. Like they just get beat to shit, like one at a time. Like their Tekken, like the advanced Tekken forces that he sent in are just getting obliterated. And so Heihachi's like, yo, I need a live camera feed of what the fuck is going on. And so he gets one, and then it turns out it's the reanimated corpse of Kazuya Mishima. He's just beating the shit out of all of these guys. And he looks at one of the Tekken forces, and he looks at the camera, and he's like, I will get my revenge, and then just punches this guy's head through a wall.
It's pretty hype.
Punches this guy's head through a wall. So after this, it was oh dude, when I was younger and I was watching like the Tekken 4 opening cinematic, I was like, yo, I don't even know who this guy is, but that was cool. That was rad.
I feel bad as you're missing out on Tekken growing up, basically. I feel
dude, Tekken was my first like true foray into fighting games, so that's why I love this series so much.
That's fair.
Anyways, nostalgia for a different time.
Fair.
After this incident, Heihachi would announce the 4th King of the Iron Fist tournament, and he would announce this to try and draw out Kazuya, because like father, like son, they get bored and they want to flex their nuts.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So in this game, we would be introduced to characters like Christy Monteiro, and she is just a girl version of Capoeira Man, John Dang.
Eddie
Gordo.
Jesus, man.
Eddie Gordo is just John Dang.
Hasn't Anna been a character, or who's the one in the wedding dress in 7?
That's Nina. She's always been a character. Okay. She's been a character since Tekken 1. We would get Christy. We would get the infamous Craig Marduk. We would get the competitively infamous Steve Fox and his Sonic Boom. And then we would also get essentially Mokujin's replacement, which I'm really pissed off about. We get Combot. He sucks. I hate Combot. Bring back Mokujin, please. At the end,
what sucks about Combot?
Combot is just, I don't know. It just feels unoriginal. It's just a fighting robot. That's literally
Unlike
it. Unlike Mokujin, who is a magical, fighting robot made out of a magic tree.
So is there a point where there's like less, I guess, like less magic being implemented in the Tekken series? No. Okay.
It only ramps up from here.
Interesting. I mean, we had a literal dinosaur from like a manga tie-in character in the last one, but this Tekken 4 is when after Tekken 4 it steps up even more. There are even more war crimes committed. Just you wait. Okay.
Just you wait.
Go ahead.
So Tekken 4 would be at the end Kazuya would defeat Heihachi, but then Jin would go on to defeat Kazuya, and he would go on to try and kill Heihachi, but this is, a vision of his mother would stop him from doing so, and then he would go on to spare his grandfather and fly off into the night. Again.
Ugh.
And this would be the last time, like literally the last time you would see Jun Kazama, or Jun, at any stage in the Tekken story, this would be the last time. And everyone's like, what happened to Jun? And Harada's like, she's in hiding.
Don't ask me
for shit,
bro.
It's been like 20 years, bro. It's been 20 years. It's been
She's
so
hiding
long.
really good. She's hiding with Akuma, who's apparently just chilling out escaping all these fucking super bosses walking around on Earth.
Yeah. Okay, so that ends Tekken 4. So, at the conclusion of the fourth King of the Iron Fist tournament, we transition straight into Tekken 5. And shortly after this, a bunch of Jack 4s would just, like, explode into the dojo.
Okay.
Forcing Heihachi and Kazuya to team up and to fight them. However, at some point during the battle, Kazuya would end up betraying his father by throwing him into the arms of a ton of robots. And then the robots, like the Jacks, would open up their faces to reveal a countdown timer. And then Kazuya would be like, LOL, I'll see you later, and jump out of a hole they made. And then Heihachi would be like, Kazuya! And then they would explode.
As you do.
And then, I believe, if you're keeping track, this is the third official death of Heihachi Mishima. This is the third official death of Heihachi Mishima.
Okay.
And so, because of this, they would announce another King of the Iron Fist tournament. A mysterious person would go on to take over the Mishima Zaibatsu and announce the fifth King of the Iron Fist tournament. And
let me guess, it's because they're bored. Tekken has the most.
This time, you find out that the tournament is actually being run by Jinpachi Mishima. Remember? You guys remember
So
Jinpachi?
he wasn't dead.
The man that was locked underneath the dojo? It turns out Jinpachi Mishima's body was reanimated by a demon.
Because the demon was bored.
Ogre.
No, just a demon. Quite literally a demon.
Just Beelzebub.
He's quite literally a demon. And it's actually, God, Jinpachi demon form is bullshit. I remember playing against this boss character. He has a mouth on his stomach that just throws fireballs at you.
Beautiful.
And then he can just hit you from across the screen. It's insane. Jinpachi Mishima demon form, just throw up the image. He's cool, but he's insane.
Gotcha.
So, so he would announce this tournament actually to be like, hey, I need someone to fight and defeat me because I don't want this demon to take over. No, yeah, I'm too strong. This demon that's taking over me is too strong. I need, this demon is granting me immortality and I want to die. Please.
What an honest guy.
Please help me. So, as usual, Jin being the main character. From now on, Jin would start to become, like, mostly the main character of, like, the Tekken games.
Mm-hmm.
So we would go on to defeat everybody in the tournament, including his dad. And, eventually, he would, defeat, Jinpachi Mishima and become the new owner of the Mishima Zaibatsu.
Finally. What a glow up.
Finally, he becomes
He's got the drip.
He becomes the leader of Mishima Zaibatsu.
Good, just as long as, Heihachi is dead.
I repeat, if he's a fighting game character, then he's not dead.
So we transition from Tekken 5 into Tekken 6, with Jin also starting to become a warmonger.
Damn, that's fast.
Like father, like son, like father, like son.
Damn, dude.
He becomes a warmonger.
Already.
And using his resources
How
within
long does
the
it
organization, literally 6 months.
What
Canonically, I think
shit.
6 months to 3 years. I can't remember.
What a piece of shit.
So, he rapidly expands the Mishima Zaibatsu and becomes a global superpower. And
so
through
he
this,
takes over all of Japan, or is
he basically takes all over Japan, and then through this, he ties off national ties and openly declares war against all nations.
Wait,
What?
I don't think that's what you wanted, though. That wasn't what you wanted before.
War crimes 2.0.
Listen, bro, the last time Japan fought the United States, it kind of ended really weird, and I don't want that to happen again.
So he completely spirals the world into a global conflict that is extremely chaotic and massive in its scale.
And he's supposed to be the protagonist?
He's supposed to be the protagonist. And
like Paul and what's his face is just like hanging out, chilling out, just like
they're like, we don't know what to do. We really do not.
We just show up and beat up people, and then they get back up after we leave. And that's about
it. We do not know what to do. At this point, fun fact: Nina Williams and Eddie Gordo become his subordinates, so they're on Jin's side.
Wait, what?
I can't believe. Yeah, John Ding and Nina Williams become subordinates for Jin in his global war.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, Jin offered Eddie. He said, "I'll make it mandatory for kids to learn capoeira in Jin elementary school." And Eddie was like,
"I'm in."
And then he celebrates by kicking a child into his rage art, and then just repeatedly tornado kicking this kid,
making sure that he'll never.
He just continuously rodeos them, bro. That's all he does. It's plus on block. I don't know what to say, bro. I don't know what to say, and I don't know what to do. It's devastating. So, Kazuya Mishima, still alive, fun fact. He doesn't get killed in Tekken 5. He's still alive.
He just got beaten up.
He just got beaten to shit. He takes over G Corporation. He takes it over in a hostile takeover.
Was that necessary though? Like, who was there left?
You will know why. You will know why here in a minute.
Okay.
He rapidly expands G Corporation into another superpower, a global superpower. The only other global superpower in the world at this time that can take on the Mishima Zaibatsu.
Where is the G Corporation located?
G Corporation, I believe, has multiple different laboratories around the world, but I think their main one is in the United States.
I was really hoping you were going to say Japan.
Me too. I really wanted it to be in Japan,
but
I could be very wrong about it though. This is all from memory right now.
Carry on.
So, through this, he places a bounty on Jin's head to have him assassinated. Right? He's like, "Fuck it. This is the only thing we can do." But Jin's response to this is to announce another King of the Iron Fist tournament. Let's go, guys. It's the 6th one.
Jesus Christ, this is kind of dragging on, don't you think?
It's the 6th King of the Iron Fist tournament in the middle of World War fucking 3.
5 of them, and we've gotten exactly nothing fucking done, and his solution is, wow, this one's going to be the one that saves it.
This is going to be the one that saves it.
It's real talk.
Can love truly bloom on a battlefield? I don't know, but it can truly bloom in the King of the Iron Fist Tournament 6. Anyways, it's to lure out Kazuya. And Kazuya's like, I can't resist a good fight. And he joins up.
That's beautiful.
However, in the meantime, during Tekken 6, we follow a young man named Lars Alexanderson.
Oh no.
He's in love with an anime robot. No joke, no cap. He is in love with Alyssa, and Alyssa is just an anime robot. She's got chainsaw arms.
So was she built by Dr. Man from 3?
Yes. Okay. Yes, she was. Gotcha.
And in case you're wondering, she was in fact built different.
I mean, the chainsaws, bro. It's all in the chainsaws.
He would go on. Head. He would go on to actually. He would go on multiple adventures trying to stop the war. Like he would go on, like he was a field commander within the Tekken forces, but he would rebel against them and go on to try and stop the war. And through these escapades, he would go on. He would go on to go meet Raven and fall in love with Alyssa. And through this, they would end up at a temple in Egypt. And so they find out that another god, called Azazel is the progenitor to the devil gene. And the reason why Jin started this whole massive global conflict is because he's actually a good guy. And he's trying to lure out Azazel so he can destroy the devil gene for good.
I don't think starting World War III was necessary, Jin.
No, bro, it's worth it. He needed to sacrifice billions of people and casualties so that he could stop being such a fucking edgelord.
So
I think it makes perfect sense.
So the reason,
that isn't going to work out.
The reason for this is Azazel is like the end god. Like if like humanity is not at peace and like strays away from the light, Azazel comes and just blows everything up. So he's trying to lure out Azazel.
I don't think this is a good idea, Jen. I think this is a bad plan.
In the end, we see that they end up in Egypt. They talk to Zafina, which Zafina is a DLC character in Tekken 7. This is actually where you meet her. Zafina is actually like sort of like, I believe, like a spiritual guide. Don't really know her story. Didn't really care. Didn't really figure it out. All I know is that in Tekken 7 she has like an Azazel claw, essentially. So it's implied that she might have like also like absorbed Azazel after the events of this. Don't know. Don't care.
Okay.
Anyways, so like Jin,
does that make her a Mishima?
No, it does not. That makes her an asshole because she has 3 stances: Scarecrow, Spider, or maybe not Spider. I just know Scarecrow is a bitch and I have to deal with. Anyways,
gotcha.
So she helps, she explains the whole entire thing, yada yada yada, blah blah blah, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. And then so Jin essentially legend kicks Azazel into the pit. He's like, hi-ya, I'ma kick you. And he kicks her straight into a pit. He kicks Azazel straight into a pit. It explodes, all of the important characters get away, but it turns out he still has the devil gene. He is unconscious in a desert, and so the UN picks him up in a helicopter, and we go straight into the events of Tekken 7. Let's go, everybody. We're in the home stretch.
I was gonna say, so his plan was to lure out this eldritch demon that is, I guess, the origin of the devil gene. And he was like, I'm gonna beat it up, and that's gonna erase the devil gene? But, like, why? Why would that happen? Why would he think that?
Because that's what he thought.
Okay.
That's what he thought.
And so he started World War III effectively for nothing.
Yes.
Okay.
So
carry on.
We are in Tekken 7, right?
Gotcha.
This is Tekken 7. This is the end game.
Akuma is finally ready.
He's finally going to make a comeback.
Finally here, guys.
So the Mishima Zaibatsu and the G Corporation War, it's still going on. World War III, still going on against 2 super mega companies, right?
So
still going on.
Running the Zaibatsu while Jin is passed out in a desert and blowing
At this point,
out.
Heihachi.
Okay.
Heihachi has came back and was just like, that's mine.
I'm gonna take that shit.
I'm gonna take that. And Kazuya is running with G Corporation, waging war on the Zaibatsu. It starts to become a blood feud once again.
Gotcha.
Instead of just a war to end all wars.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So we're here. This story takes place from the perspective of a reporter. He's really boring, so I'm not really gonna get into him. But we start off with the Tekken forces. They invade. Or actually, no. Heihachi, after he takes back the Mishima Dojo, he is meditating in the dojo.
Gotcha.
He's just chilling out, hanging out, getting ready for war again. And then the door bursts open. Guess who it is?
8 million Jack 7s.
It's Akuma. You're right. It's Akuma.
My man.
However, guess what also comes into the door?
10 other
8 million Jack 7s.
You are correct. You are correct. So they fight them off together. They work together. They defeat the robots. It's lit. It's so cool. You get to play as Heihachi and fight the robots. they have this really annoying move where they do like a cartwheel motion, and then the last cartwheel motion comes out a little delayed, and if you're not ready, it'll bonk and stun you. It's devastating. And so they destroy all of the Jack 7s, right?
Hell yeah.
They destroy all the Jack 7s, and so Heihachi and Akuma would face off. But seemingly, Akuma would seemingly kill Heihachi. Heihachi Mishima is dead for the, I think, 4th or 5th time now. It is the 4th time.
Give me a fucking break. When does he come back?
To add to this, wasn't Heihachi not in the base game of Tekken 7?
No, he was.
Was he not?
He was.
Okay.
He was in the base game, yeah.
I thought he was like an update character. Like, whenever it was in the arcade.
Arcades?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But I don't really know. I don't have much knowledge outside of the arcades.
Gotcha.
So, anyways. He actually... He escapes, obviously.
I mean, obviously.
But he uses this opportunity to go dark and declare himself dead to the public, essentially.
But doesn't he also talk to the reporter?
Yes. Yeah. This is where you get that information from. Right? So, after this, we cut to the Tekken forces invading a different corporation called the Violet Systems Violet Systems. This is where they're holding Jin's unconscious body.
This
right?
is what Lee has been doing the whole time, too, right?
This is what Lee, Nina, Lars, and Alyssa are doing.
Okay, so Lee is... At what point did Lee stop being, like, underneath Heihachi?
I don't know, man. I honestly don't know, because I didn't really research Lee's backstory. All I knew... what I know about Lee is that he was a scrappy kid that Heihachi saw on a business trip one time, and he was fighting other kids, and Heihachi was like, I like that.
That sounds
You're
like
being adopted right now.
Also, which game has the ending where Heihachi straps Jin and Kazuya to a rocket ship?
That is Tekken 5. That is Tekken 5. Tekken 5, Tekken 4, Tekken 5, and Tekken 6 have, like, really weird endings for all of, like, the secondary characters.
Yeah, one of them, Heihachi turns into Kuma. I don't know if it's a Tekken Tag ending or if it's a...
Yeah, there's one where they're all in space, and, it's, like, weird torture stuff. It's so odd. Like, if you're not the main character of those, like, 3 or 4 games specifically, you have a really weird ending.
Or if in Tekken 7's case, it's... You fight one guy, and then you have, like, a 30-second ending that's horribly unsatisfying.
It's odd. It's terrible.
Especially if you're an Eddie Gordo main.
Yeah. Feels bad.
Feels bad for the
So anyways, the Tekken forces invade Violet Systems to get Jin's unconscious body.
Okay.
However, Nina, who is also attempting to capture Jin on Heihachi's orders, she's a double agent. Fun fact.
Of course.
She is now confronted. She gets confronted by Alyssa. They fight each other. Lee's voice Lee radios them in, and they're like, "Yo, I'm gonna help you guys out." And so Lee like basically helps them off and flies off with Jin, Lars, and Alyssa. Lee blows the building up. Oh, that's right. Violet Systems. Lee owns that company. That's right. I forgot Lee was also a bajillionaire, too, with his own, like, sort of place. It's because he owns Violet Systems. That's right. He was also the inventor of Combat.
And they do war crimes?
They don't do war crimes.
Well, I mean, they probably make bombs, so...
They probably make bombs, but that's not technically a war crime underneath the Geneva Convention, so it's fine.
Okay. Well,
look, Violet Systems didn't start fucking World War III. That, like,
they just profited
out even into space. Apparently there are space colonies in Tekken that I totally forgot about, so yeah.
Is that where Jack is?
Probably. He's probably fighting the space colonization, like, colonizers right now, as we speak.
He's
in
stopping
Tekken 7 right now.
space imperialism as we
It's
speak.
Gundam. Tony, here you go. Here's the bit for this one. Here's the picture for editor Tony. It's the RX-78, but it's just got the gun. It's got Jack 7's face on there.
Gotcha. Who's the Red Comet?
Who's the Red Comet? Alyssa.
Is it Alyssa, or is it
It's Alyssa.
Who's another animal character? Who's the raptor?
It's Mokujin. It's Rex Raptor from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Rex Raptor? No, not him. That bastard, we gotta stop him.
It's Rex Raptor.
So what? We have to do a let's watch, right, of the Tekken live action movie.
Oh, dude, not even. Give me a second. I will throw in.
There's also a Tekken anime as well.
Yeah, there is. It's lit. So we're here. He blows up his own company. Nina's all good. She lives. She's just stuck underneath a bunch of rubble in the building.
As you do.
So, Akuma, fun fact, comes the G-Corp to kill Kazuya. The G-Corporation soldiers have their guns pointed at him, but Kazuya's like, no.
So why is
Akuma
down. Going around trying to kill people?
He is essentially trying to kill the Mishima bloodline because he's a cuck or he's a simp for Kazumi.
He was a tier 3 fan. And now where does he get his content from now?
He was a super simp, so he's like, I will avenge you, queen.
Yes.
Toe pictures?
He subscribed to the OnlyFans, but didn't look at the nudes to preserve her honor.
No,
Akuma is truly the most honorable
is definitely posting only her Instagram pics on her OnlyFans, 100%.
Kazumi is posting over-the-shoulder pics of, just her shoulder, like her Komodo is stripped off just a little bit, and that's it.
Exactly. Only slightly risque. Not
slightly, not even NSFW, just slightly NSFW.
Exactly.
So he's at G Corp. Kazuya's like, yo, I wanna fight him, and so Kazuya turns into his devil form.
As you do. I mean,
and starts fighting.
When Akuma shows up, you gotta nut up.
You gotta go all out, right?
You
gotta go 1000%.
Exactly.
You gotta go 1000%. So, Heihachi manages to capture footage of Kazuya turning into a devil and broadcasts it live to the world.
And now it's Devil
Everyone's like, oh no! As they fight, Heihachi does the only reasonable thing he can do. Takes the Mishima Zaibatsu orbital laser satellite and destroys the building.
I mean, if George Clooney's got one, then Heihachi's got it, right?
Right. And, so, he kills a ton of people. He kills a ton of people.
So, question, nobody cares.
Yes.
Nobody cares about that, I'm assuming.
No, everyone. So, nobody knows yet that it is Heihachi doing it. So, we'll get there. We're about to get there.
Gotcha.
We're about to get there.
Gotcha.
So, Kazuya actually survives the orbital laser beam, right? And so...
How the fuck are you expecting me to believe that?
Well, he reatomized
And how the fuck does nobody realize that it's Heihachi when he's already come back twice and they're like, no, he wouldn't do it a third time.
So wait. Wait, here it is, right? So he's in his devil form. He survives the orbital laser blast, right? He gets up. He shoots down the Zaibatsu satellite with his own laser. The satellite crashes down to Earth.
So question, does that mean Phoenix or Paul is stronger than a satellite?
Yes.
His durability, at least.
So, yes. And so because of this, because the satellite crashes down, everybody in the world, since this is being streamed live to the world, sees that it's a Mishima Zaibatsu satellite. And this causes, and because of this, it changes public opinion against Mishima Zaibatsu.
So they're like, we don't give a shit if this guy's a demon. You shoot giant space lasers at people to get your point across. You're an asshole.
And consider it, if you think about it, it's World War fucking 3 right now. And everyone's just like, why are there giant space lasers? Why are there people turning into I guess that's not the worst of our concerns. There's an orbital space laser that can destroy us.
Did the public know about Ogre?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, no.
Gotcha. What about Gigas? Does the public know about Gigas?
No, they don't.
Okay.
So eventually, they go on. They're like, we have to settle this beef. They have to settle this beef. We gotta settle this once and for all. Mano y mano. So Kazuya and Heihachi stand in the middle of a volcano.
This is the most ice-searing stage in the entire game.
Yep, it is. They stand in the middle of a volcano. In the fight, it's chaotic. They're punching each other. And at the same time that they're throwing punches, they're blowing up rocks, volcanic rocks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just blowing shit up. They're shooting, Kazuya, is shooting lasers out of his third eye at him. Heihachi's ducking and weaving. They fight. And then, Heihachi manages to beat Kazuya back into his human form. However, they're both exhausted. They're in the middle of a fucking volcano, dude. It's hot. It's hot.
Shit's hot, bro.
And through the force of Kazuya remembering that his father killed his mother, he punches him with one last punch in his chest. And it stops Heihachi's heart.
Oh, shut up. Oh, shut up.
It does. It stops Heihachi's heart. And through this, Kazuya then throws Heihachi's lifeless body into volcanic lava.
What's Akuma doing right now?
Thank God.
So, Akuma, after that fight, Akuma throws a fireball from out of the corner of Kazuya's eyes. He dodges it. He looks back. He prepares to fight Kazuya. Akuma. Akuma comes down, and they're about to tussle. It turns black. Credits roll.
Oh, what a cut.
That is the end. Actually, that is not the end. Because Jin wakes up, and he's like, I'm going to stop World War III in the next game, 20 years from now.
He's going to stop World War III? You mean the war that he started?
Bro, I cannot roll my eyes fucking hard enough about that. He's like, don't worry, guys. I might have burned down this house, but I'll build it, too. It's like, no, you fucker. Look what you did.
All the stuff inside is ruined. It's gone.
Alright, so that is the end. For now, the Mishima Blood Feud. Do you guys have any questions?
Go ahead, James.
Why won't they just let them die?
Because it's a fighting game.
Why won't they just die?
Because it's a fighting game.
They can't get rid of their move list.
Yeah.
Also, when is True Ogre gonna be in Tekken 7? He's gonna be a DLC character.
They will.
And he's.
I don't think they will ever put True Ogre ever again.
Hey, Ogre.
Into a Tekken
Ogre was in Tekken Tag 2, so there's always a possibility.
Yeah, but Tekken Tag 2 was broken by design.
It wasn't Ogre's fault for that.
No, but it's like the Modern Warfare 2 idea of balancing all of the things. It's like if everything is overpowered, then nothing is overpowered.
I feel like that's always been a Tekken
sounds like a fun game.
Is where every character has. I feel like that's always been a Tekken philosophy, though. But where every character can be super strong, overpowered, have a 10 strength that immediately kills you. But
if everybody is overpowered, then no one is overpowered.
Exactly. It's like
That's kind of like how Overwatch was when it started. But I can't wait for them to have Tekken goats.
Oh, that would be
Tekken
cool.
goats.
Yeah.
In all honesty, I love Tekken so much, dude. Tekken is pure absurdity.
What is Noctis doing this whole time during the World War III event?
Noctis is being an asshole somewhere in fucking Final Fantasy. What game is he 15. From? Final Fantasy
15.
15. Yeah, he's being an asshole in Final Fantasy 15.
He's fighting an Adamantoise for fucking 3 hours. It's a 3-hour fight,
and that's only if you come prepared. Whatever.
It's only if you come prepared. Jesus. Yeah, he was like, "Fuck
this."
That's
only if you don't get the glitch where it does the one attack where it shoots you a mile away and then resets the entire fight.
Right.
I don't know if you guys have seen that shit, but it is so funny.
Oh, hell yeah! All right, guys. Any more questions for Tekken? Or
I'm sure.
I don't know. I think that kind of covers it.
All right. I just want everybody to know, listening to this podcast, that I will body you in Tekken. Add me on Steam. Put your Steam details in the comments below. I will body your ass.
Dox yourself.
All right.
And also put your social security number.
Dude,
put your name.
Subscribe and dox.
Subscribe, dogs, put your mother's maiden name in the comments below. Fucking just getting your social security number and the last 3 digits.
First
your
name of animal.
What was the name of your first pet?
There you go.
Alright, everybody. Until next time, this is Going Topless, signing off. Peace.
Later.
Peace.